let us start with the next chapter of chemistry, that is solid state. Students, you have studied about three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. These differ from one another in terms of intermolecular forces of attraction and thermal energy. Liquids and gases are also called fluids because they can flow. Now these can flow because the intermolecular forces of attraction are weak in them. However, in solids, the constituent particles have fixed position. In this unit, we shall discuss different possible arrangement of particles resulting in several type of structures. These are the characteristics of solids. You are well aware that solids have definite shape and volume. They have short intermolecular distances, highly incompressible and rigid. Constituent particles are held together by strong intermolecular forces. The position of particles is fixed. They cannot move, but they can only vibrate along their mean positions. Based upon atomic arrangement, binding energy, physical and chemical properties, solids can be divided into two types, crystalline and amorphous. Now, in crystalline solids, the building molecules arrange themselves in regular manner throughout the entire crystal. That is, they have long range order. Long range order means there is a regular pattern of arrangement of particles which repeats itself periodically over the entire crystal. These are regarded as true solids. They have sharp melting points. They are anisotropic in nature. Anisotropic means some of their physical properties like refractive index show different values along different directions in the same crystal. This is because of different arrangement of particles in different direction. When tried to cut with a knife, they give a clean cleavage. Examples of crystalline solids are sodium chloride, cesium chloride. Amorphous word is derived from a Greek word omorphi, which means shapeless. There is no regular arrangement of atoms or molecules, or we can say they have short range order. Short range order means irregular and periodically repeating pattern, if present, is observed over a short distance only. They are also considered as non-crystalline solids or supercooled liquids. Glass is an example. If you go to some old buildings, you will find that glasses in window panes are thick at the bottom but thinner at the top. This shows that glass flows. These do not have sharp melting point, rather they soften over a range of temperature and so can be molded into various shapes. These are isotropic in nature, means the value of physical property would be same along any direction. When tried to cut, They do not give a clean cleavage. One example I have already given you, glass. Other examples are rubber and plastics. If you observe the window panes of very old monuments, you find those window panes are milky. This is because with the passage of time, some crystallization has taken place there. On the basis of the nature of intermolecular forces, crystalline solids can be divided into four types: ionic, covalent, molecular, and metallic. Let us first talk about ionic crystals. These are made up of positive and negative ions held together by electrostatic forces of attraction. These have high melting points. These are hard and brittle. Since the ions are not free to move, so these are poor conductors of electricity in solid state. However, in molten state or when dissolved in water, the ions become free to move, so they conduct electricity. Examples of ionic crystals are sodium chloride, magnesium oxide, zinc sulfide, and calcium fluoride. Next we have covalent or network solid. These are made up of neutral atoms, where neutral atoms are held together by covalent bonds. These are also called giant molecules. Covalent bonds are strong and directional in nature. Such solids are hard and brittle. These have very high melting points. These are hard and poor conductors of electricity. For example, in case of diamond and silicon carbide. But if we talk about the case of graphite, it is soft and good conductor of electricity. This exceptional behavior of graphite is because of its structure, where carbon atoms are arranged in different layers and one electron is free to conduct electricity. Next we talk about molecular solids. Molecular solids are made up of neutral molecules. These may be non-polar molecular solids which are soft, held together by van der Waals forces, are insulators with very low melting point, for example, argon, carbon tetrachloride. Then we have polar molecular solids which are held together by dipole-dipole forces. These are soft with low melting points. Example are HCl, SO2. Then hydrogen bonded molecular solids held together by hydrogen bonds as the name suggests. These are hard insulators with low melting point. Example is ice. Next we have metallic solids which are made up of positive metal ions known as kernels surrounded by a sea of mobile electrons. These are held together by metallic bonding. These have high tensile strength. Now, because of the presence of mobile electrons, these are good conductors of electricity in solid as well as in molten state. These are hard but malleable and ductile. These also have luster and color in certain cases. They have fairly high melting point. Examples: iron, copper, and silver. Thank you.